Yeah, now, KJ, I know, again, you playing the wide receiver position. I think what made those teams great that you were on, especially those 12 and 13 teams, and I mean, you can attest being in the NFL, being in NFL camps, iron sharpens iron. It's the best of the
Yeah.
best battling one another, and that's why you're so good because to play, you've got to be the best. Now, when you were at South Carolina, you could say the same thing about every position on the field, but I mean, especially the wide receivers. I mean, I think back to
Yeah.
who South Carolina had on the outside. The Gamecocks were just loaded. I mean, Connor Shaw had his fair share of guys to go to. Just talk about being, again, a wide receiver in that wide receiver room. I know you played sparingly, especially in your first two seasons, but, I mean, how much better do you think it made you as a player? Just, I mean, knowing the guys you were going up against. I'm sure, especially when you first stepped on campus, you probably stepped back and were like, this is big time football. I'm
Yeah.
going against the best of the best here at Carolina.
Yeah, I guess going on a little bit more about that, my first camp practice with pads on, I remember Antonio Allen was, I mean, he was obviously blitzing off the edge, and he was my guy. If he was blitzing, I had to go crack back on him. And, I was still learning, certain signs and different ways to kind of line up. And I remember that's when I really realized the difference of speed between high school and college. Because as soon as that ball snapped, I felt like as soon as I looked over, he was already at the quarterback. So that's when I got my first little realization of how fast the SEC speed is. But from a wide receiver standpoint, being able to watch guys like Alshon my first year and, um, JB my first year, Ace Sanders, Bruce Ellington, we had guys every single year that could contribute. Not just at the receiver position, but everywhere else on the field. And I remember, I'm 6'3", 6'4", and Ace is a lot smaller than me, way quicker than I am off the line. But I remember watching his releases, and obviously a guy my frame can't do what he does off the line. But, he inspired me to work on my footwork because it wasn't where it needed to be. I knew I wasn't going to get to where Ace was because that's just not physically possible for me. But it definitely made me want to work on certain aspects of my game, and everywhere else. Like Nick Jones, being the kind of the role player that he was vital for that offense. And he's a smaller guy too, but he's gonna block like a 6'3", 200 guy. He's gonna lay life on the line to block. So all those guys that I was able to watch helped me in certain areas of my game. Um, and being able to be around that caliber of players was definitely an experience that I took to the next level. I learned a lot from those guys, whether I asked them directly or not. I watched them every single day on one-on-ones and all the different drills he went into. So I learned a lot from them, and it was a definitely an honor to be a part of that group.